year, which means if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking about your New Year's goals. The new year for me brings about this fresh and new energy that makes me really excited to sit down and think about all the things that I'm trying to manifest into my life. So in this video, I want to share with you guys some things that I like to do to plan for and to start my new year with a fresh start. As we get closer and closer to the new year, I find myself naturally going more inward and wanting to check in with myself to reflect on the past year, but to also start thinking about the future. So before I even really put pen to paper or do anything specific for planning, I like to spend some time going inward and doing my spiritual practices that make me feel connected to my higher self. So for me, this means meditating, journaling, spending some time praying, and really just connecting with myself so I know where I'm at mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that I can start planning for my future. So as I kind of meditate and pray on certain goals that I think I want to achieve next year, I'll sometimes feel called to write these things down, to visualize, to script in my journal as if these things are already happening, and to affirm to myself that these things are possible for me. And I find that for me, because I've been doing these practices somewhat consistently in the past few months, I find it a lot easier, especially this year, to do this. And so rather than thinking about, what do I want next year? I find myself kind of already being guided by my higher self into what I feel like I'm being called to do. And doing these things don't always come naturally to me all at once. So I typically will do these practices pretty interchangeably over the course of a few days or even a few weeks leading up to or even after the new year. Once I feel a little bit more certain in my heart about certain timelines and things that I want to achieve, I will then start actually planning out my year. And the first thing that I really like to do this is make a vision board. I love vision boards because, again, I love visualizing a certain future for myself in my head and in my journal, but it's nice to also see these things physically in front of you. So I don't really check in on my vision boards a lot throughout the year, but I kind of just find it to be a nice activity that's kind of like an extension of the manifestation practices that I've already been doing. Okay, so my vision board is not done yet, but it's pretty much there. I just kind of want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown on how I'm doing it. I think it's really important to be as specific as possible. So for example, I took my YouTube, I took a screenshot of that, put my goal subscriber count. I took a map and I literally put on where I want to travel to next year. I took a screenshot of my loans, my student loan balance, and I put 0 because I want to pay off all my loans next year. Making it super specific, like I said, makes it just a lot easier to visualize exactly where you want to be. And I just want to show you guys proof of this because I was actually looking at my old vision boards from the past 2 years, and it's just crazy how much of what I've already put on my vision boards in the past 2 years have come true. So let me show you guys. I didn't hit all of these goals, which is totally fine, but 100K on YouTube, I obviously hit that. This is the exact car that I have right now. I knew I maybe wanted a black one, but this is literally my car, to the year, I'm pretty sure. A few of these brands I ended up working with this year. Look at this meme that I put here. It says, "We were never meant to work for you." Basically, this meme is me wanting to quit my job, and that's what I ended up doing. That was my 2021 vision board. This is my 2020 vision board. As you can see, I have a Frenchie here, which I ended up getting that same year. Waking up at 5 a.m. every day was a goal, which I ended up doing. Oh, and this is my student loan balance for my private loans, and I wanted to pay them off in 2020, which I ended up, I think I paid them off February of 2021 or something. So I highly recommend, whether you're into vision boards or not, consider some way that you can express what you have in your head. Because again, it's very easy to visualize things. The more you kind of check in with yourself and the more you kind of do those practices where you are visualizing things in your head and journaling them. But it is really nice, I think, at least to have something physical as well. Once I've started visualizing the reality that I want to see myself in next year, I naturally start thinking about some things that are stopping me from achieving that reality. This step is something new that I'm doing this year that I think is going to be really helpful in figuring out what are things that I can change about my behavior, my habits, my way of thinking that will help me get closer to the person that I want to be next year. For me, a major example of this would be being on my phone too much. This has been a huge obstacle for me in the past year in terms of my productivity and also just my mental mental health. And this is something that I know if I work on in 2022, I know I will be a lot more happy. And just by sitting with each category, again, I just really think about what I can change about my current behaviors, habits, and way of thinking that will accelerate me and help me achieve my goals in 2022. So once I've done all of this, once I've like really visualized everything, I've done my vision board, I figured out what changes I want to make in my life, I then get into the actual planning. And I know this is a lot of steps, but again, I don't do this all in one day. And I feel like this kind of comes naturally, like throughout anytime I'm trying to manifest or plan anything in my life. But obviously, since it's a new year, it just feels more natural to do all of this in a shorter period of time, if that makes sense. So I like to break my goals down into yearly, monthly, weekly, and then daily, like to-do list items. I'm gonna show you guys specifically how I do this in my journal. So I always like to start a new journal, obviously for the new year. I bought this really cute one. I like to use bullet journals for like my actual planning stuff. And then I have a separate journal where I actually like journal like my feelings and stuff. In my new bullet journal, I will of course write down at the start of it what my 2022 goals are. I really like to write down what my mission is. You guys know, if you guys watch my channel, my mission statement, my mantra that I like to say to myself is all must access. So I always will write that down at the top of my yearly goal. And then I will just go through and write down again every single goal that I have for the year so far. And again, I just try to get as specific as possible. I just think when you're planning, again, anything from your vision board to what changes you want to make, all these things, you're more likely to go after the steps. And it's really going to help you when you are breaking down each goal into monthly, weekly, to like daily goals. So you guys can see, for example, some of my goals for 2022 is I want to learn Spanish fluently. I also told myself that I really wanted to learn I want to start making 10K a month from crypto/meta. So like passive income from my investments. I want to be able to start doing that. So for me saying that I want to start making 10K a month from crypto, it's very, very specific. And that long-term goal, I can break down into short-term goals a lot easier because I know exactly what I'm trying to aim for. And I know like by Q1, I should be aiming for this amount. By Q2, I should be aiming for this amount. Q3, Q4, you know? So it makes it a lot easier when you're being as, again, specific as you can. And then what I also like to do, and I probably would usually like switch this, I wish I would have put this one first, but what I would also do is write down my champagne toast for the year. So just writing down all the things that I am proud of, all the things that I've accomplished this year. So for example, I launched an ebook this year and that was like one of my major achievements from this year. And this is where I actually want to introduce today's video sponsor because I probably would not have been able to do that if it was not for Squarespace. Squarespace makes it so incredibly easy for you to build an online presence because they have so many tools to help you do that. One of Squarespace's features that really helped me get my website off the ground really quickly was their templates. They have so many templates for you to choose from. So even if you don't have a lot of design experience, you can very easily build a website on Squarespace. Another feature that I love on Squarespace is their connected social accounts feature. So if you have multiple platforms that you have an online presence on, then you can very easily connect them and promote them on your Squarespace website. And one feature that I'm really considering using to create a new stream of income next year on Squarespace is their members only feature. They have a feature that basically allows your audience to sign up to be a member of your website and to have access to premium content or premium features that other people don't have access to. And it's just a really great way to make some extra money again from your online presence. So again, I love Squarespace. They're going to be a major part of my 2022 planning for my goals and for all the things that I want to do, especially financially, and just for building my online presence and my online brand. So I highly recommend you guys go check them out. You guys can use my link down below for a discount. And yeah, thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. And then we get into, again, the monthly, the weekly, and then the daily planning. So every single month, I will make a new section for each month. I try to decorate it. It does not look that cute, but we're not gonna talk about that. And then I will write down my goals for every single month. So I'm really just thinking about, again, month by month, how can I break down these long-term goals into short-term goals? And then for me personally, I do like to have my content calendar written down in my journal. I do have it virtually in my Notion, but I just like having it in my journal as well because I like to do a lot of my planning and like brainstorming and stuff in here, and just like having a calendar that I can just flip to whenever I want to look at when I'm posting what. I have more information in other videos on this specifically and how I plan my content and all that stuff. So if you are a content creator, then you guys can go check out the videos. I will link them somewhere in the cards. So for my weekly goals, I will write down, you know, what the week is that I'm planning for, and I will write down a list of like my personal things that I need to get done that week. So like maybe getting my lashes done or planning for a trip or whatever I have coming up that week. And then I will have a separate page just for my content. So I'll plan my content for the week right here. And then moving on to the daily planning. So every single week, we'll go through my bullet journal and write down, again, just daily what I have to do every single day. It's like a very cute and easy way for me to plan every single day. So when I'm planning my week at the start of every single week, like on Sundays, I'll make a list of everything that I need to get done, and then I will schedule it. That sounded really weird. I'll schedule it for a specific day. So yeah, that's kind of how I do my planning. I know, again, it's very, very detailed and maybe a little bit extra to some people, but I just feel like this system like really, really works for me. I've been doing this now for, I want to say almost, this will probably be my second year doing this. So I've been really like sticking by this system of organization and planning for a while now. And I really, really enjoy it. So again, this is just really the key to like, again, breaking down, I know I keep saying it, but breaking down your long-term goals into short-term goals. This is really, to me, one of the key steps to manifesting, to getting things done, whatever it is that you want to achieve. What is that future long-term goal? And again, how can you break that down into short-term action item goals that you can actually control and achieve either today or this week or this month. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or anything that you guys want me to touch on more specifically in a separate video, definitely let me know. I really hope this was helpful in some way, and I hope you guys have an amazing, I think I'm gonna be posting again before the end of the year, but in case this is the last video that you guys watch from me before the new year, I hope you guys have an amazing new year. I hope you guys are having an amazing holiday, and yeah, I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.